Whoa, that bodybuilder just grew to giant man size and killed that dude, and then started running through the streets. And because she's so big, she was up in the clouds, and she was running as if it was the end of a Disney movie. What the hell is going on here? Love Lies Bleeding, released in 2024 and is directed by Rose Glass, who is also behind the film Saint Maud. And this movie is starring the actress who definitely knows how to shake up the ketchup from a ketchup bottle, Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, Jenna Malone, Anna Baryshnikov, Dave Franco, and Ed Harris. And the reason why we're talking about Love Lies Bleeding today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel, Dr. Camp. Once again, you send over a recommendation, a movie that I have watched earlier this year and was a little weirded out and just confused by things that were going around. So I was definitely happy that you sent the recommendation over to me to force me to watch this movie again to really understand what was going on. And I did pick up more of the story with this go around, but I do have to say, there are many things that happen in here, in particular in the third act with that climax, that I'm just so confused about. But we'll talk about that here in a second. Thank you very much, Dr. Camp, for the recommendation. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Lou is the manager of a gym in this New Mexican town and has just discovered a homeless bisexual bodybuilder named Jackie, who is taking a liking to Lou, and they begin their relationship of having sex and getting Lou to supply Jackie with all of the steroids that she needs to compete in local bodybuilding contests. But you see, Lou has a sister who has a husband who's very abusive, and one night he goes off the rails and hurts Lou's sister very badly. So Jackie, who is the girlfriend of Lou, takes matters into her own hands, goes over to Lou's sister's husband's house and beats the crap out of him to where he is killed, and then they have to hide the body. Lou finds out, and Lou is trying to help Jackie hide the body, and then Jackie gets all depressed and stuff, and she goes to bodybuilding, and she messes up there. And then Ed Harris comes into here, and he's the big crime lord of this small little town, and the FBI's on him. And yeah, people grow up to be giant and kill each other, and then shrink down to... God, I'm just hearing myself talk. Oh, God. This movie is, like, a base definition of what you would get typically with an A24 movie. A24 is really good about finding independent features that they can make for very, very cheap, but the majority of them get these huge, big-name actors to come in and give stellar performances, and they typically do pretty well at the box office just because they were so cheap to make. And all of the A24 films have a realism aspect to them, at least in the beginning of the movie. But then when you get to that third act of almost every A24 film, something supernatural happens, or a decision is done, or a group of people come in that you're like, whoa, this is out of left field. Where did this shit come from? Oh, now all of a sudden we're doing this thing. I thought we were doing the one thing with the story, but no, we're going this route? Okay, this movie is all of those things and is definitely the definition of an A24 movie. And I keep trying to give Kristen Stewart the benefit of the doubt. I know, I mainly know her from the Twilight movies that I watched once and hopefully never watch again until someone recommends it on here and forces me to sit through all 5 of those stupid-ass movies again to watch her terrible, terrible performance in there. I try to give her the benefit of the doubt to be like, okay, that was just one thing. What else can you do as an actress? You are cast in all these small, independent, weird movies, and some of them you're okay in, but I'm trying to find that performance of hers where I'm just like, oh, okay. Here you are. You know what you're doing with this whole acting thing. Okay. And I really wanted that out of this movie. I really wanted this movie to be that, but No, this is your standard Kristen Stewart movie where she breathes and stops her sentence midway or after the very first word of the sentence that she's supposed to say because, you know, not saying things and acting between the lines. I mean, that's acting, people. Don't just stop. Why do you... If there's one thing to like about this movie is the performance of Katie O'Brien. This is O'Brien's first major role. I've seen her in side cameos in the Star Wars franchise and in Ant-Man Quantumania. Here, this is her first leading role, or really like supporting role, I guess. I think Kristen Stewart is the main lead here. But I really enjoy Katie O'Brien. I think she brings a different look and a different sense of self that I typically don't see in films. And I love this messed up character that she plays. Her temperament is very chaotic good. Like, she has good intentions and tries to do the right thing by the people in her life who are doing right by her or she's falling in love with, but she tends to take those things to the extreme, and that's because she is constantly high on roids in this movie. Let this movie be a lesson to all of you kids out there who are taking exercising and bodybuilding seriously and like you're just getting into it. You leave the steroids out of it, otherwise you end up like her and you grow to an enormously large size and you run through the clouds, and that may sound cool, but everyone around you is just gonna go like, that's just weird. Ed Harris shows up in here. He's the big crime lord. He is the father of Lou. He owns several small businesses in this small ass town, basically has a monopoly on everything. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's makeup, but, you know, Ed Harris has been around for a while, and he has a bunch of wrinkles, but my god, this man's face basically looks like the desert ground that's all broken up. This man has so many lines on his face. It's almost comical, but actually looks really cool on screen. You definitely gotta let that hair go, bro. That should not ever happen, ever. The movie is a little all over the place. I don't think this film knows what it wants to be. Is it a crime movie? Is it a drug movie? Is this some type of sports film about bodybuilding? Of course, I guess it could be all of those things, but when you have all of these types and all of these ideas, it can be convoluted at some points, which is what I was feeling in this script while watching this film, just kind of all over the place, and I wasn't sure where to focus my energies on. From what I remember last year, a lot of people did enjoy Love Lies Bleeding, but for this guy, it misses, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the cast and the performers that we get in here. Really, the main one that I like, again, is Katie O'Brien. If Lou was played by anyone else, maybe I would be liking this way more, but it's Kristen Stewart, and I can't get behind her. I just can't. I'm going to give Love Lies Bleeding 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. I've had better. So guys, if you've seen Love Lies Bleeding, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.